The dissection of words to find their meaning is a linguistic process that doesn't always work, especially when it comes to the Grecian component theos. We can give the following two examples.
Welcome to the channel Dialoga of Dr. Yaluka. To begin, please subscribe and tick the notification bell in order not to miss our videos. Thank you for joining.
The word theology stems from theos and logos, but to deduce that it is the study of God is false. The invisible supreme being cannot be studied like one will study a house. Therefore, any theologian will tell you theology is the study of revelations about God. Let's take theocracy. It stems from theos and kratos, literally meaning government by God. But every politician will tell you that is false. It is government by the representatives of God. Therefore, one must beware of inferring that monotheism implies the existence of but one God. Let me give you first the theological proof of this fallacy. This worse than fallacious notion of monotheism imply a most high creator. That is, the most high is at the same time the creator of this temporal universe. Then this begs the question of where does creation occurs? If it occurs in God, then at the moment of creation, God changes. And if God changes, there might be the principle of the mutability of God, and that principle must be greater than God, according to the law of causality, which is impossible because God is perceived as the greatest possible being. Therefore, maybe creation occurs outside of God, but if that is the case, added to God, it will result in an entity greater than God. So in both ways, it doesn't work. The Western monotheism is a fallacious notion. I can give you also a biblical proof of this. We read in First Colossians chapter verse 13, chapter 1 verse 13. Colossians chapter 1 verse 13. The Son is the image of the invisible God, the firstborn over all creation. The Son and the invisible God are depicted here as two different beings. The Son is called also the firstborn. Therefore, this expression can allude to the Christ, to Jesus, or to the Creator. How to clarify the situation? Let us take the book of Hebrew, chapter 12, verse 23. There, the expression firstborn is in plural. And because it is in plural, it cannot allude to God. It cannot allude to the Christ because there is only one Christ. It cannot allude to Jesus because there cannot be only one master Christian. So it alludes to the Creator. In other words, there are two. There are other gods aside the invisible supreme being, according to the Bible. True monotheism came from ancient Egypt, from Kemet. Xenophonius, the Grecian philosopher, affirms that there are many gods according to the Grecian culture, but only one God according to nature. By nature, he means science has taught in ancient Egypt. This implies that the Grecian students learned the notion of monotheism from ancient Kemet. And in ancient Kemet, the Most High was called Sol Lord, literally meaning monotheos. Therefore, true monotheism implies a Most High God throning above lower divinity that are but his manifestations. African monotheism is the only scientific and demonstrable one. It can be proven true thanks to the Kemetic cosmological argument. This argument can be introduced summarily in the following manner. I'm an individual being, so you are. Therefore, the temporal universe in which we abide is an individual one. But the individual nature of this universe begs the existence of an individual cause of its existence. The individual nature of this cause in the infinite possibilities imply the existence of other similar causes. So we have potential and effective causes. Now, within the setting of the hypothesis that every creation occurs in its creator, there is a being, an entity that includes all the potential and effective causes. Therefore, this entity is the greatest possible being. And has the greatest possible being, this entity must be the Most High, God. Therefore, God is immutable and indivisible. If he were not, then there might be a principle of his mutability and divisibility. And that principle must be greater than him according to the law of causality, which is impossible, God being the greatest possible being. God is also transcendent. By transcendent, we do not only mean that he is above everything, it means also that God doesn't know evil. Because within the setting of his absolute indivisibility, to know and to be are the same thing in him. Therefore, if God knew no evil, he must be infinitely good and infinitely bad, which is also impossible. Therefore, God is transcendent. God is also invisible, as stated in the book of Colossians, because due to his indivisibility, to know God, to see God, one must see his fullness. But if one gets the fullness of God in one's glance, then God becomes finite, which is possible. Therefore, even in the heaven, God will remain invisible. These arguments can be extended to all the essential doctrine of the theology of Waset or Memphis in ancient Egypt. This is the natural systematic theology of African traditional religion in its original nature, which nature has been kept in Bukôngo, the Congo religion. For those who want to extend their understanding of this argument to all the doctrines of African traditional religion, they can recourse to my book, to the books that are behind me, especially the one on top, which is titled Bukôngo. Thus, we come to the conclusion that true monotheism is the monotheism of the Black people, the monotheism of the Congo people. So true Congotheism is in accordance with the Kemetic cosmological argument. In the theism, Nzambi Ampungu Tulendo throne above lesser divinities, including the effective and potential creators or causes. Those who today perpetuate the fallacy that Nzambi Ampungu Tulendo, Mumbalowa, and Kongo, etc., are different names of the same God. They perpetuate the Western fallacious theism. The true monotheism is the one which is taught by the African Black people. In it, there is a supreme being crawling above lower divinities that are but his manifestation. This is the only demonstrable notion of monotheism. Thus, in Bukôngo, the Congo religion, Nzambiampungu Tulendo, Mbumbalowa, and Kongo, the first divinized ancestor, are different entities. To teach the contrary is to perpetuate a Western theological fallacy. Thank you.
If you enjoyed this video, please like it and share. More on this subject can be found on my books available at Amazon.